The idea of a presidential center in Sierra Leone is a good thing, regardless of who it is named after. If put in its proper context, it is about Sierra Leone. It is about the many unanswered questions we have about our history. It is about Sierra Leone learning from the lessons of its past. It is about our national growth. For us to grow and develop as a nation, we must learn from our history, both our individual experiences and our collective experiences, the good experiences and the not so good experiences. This is now the way of life in the world. Presidential centers are desirable because presidents need to study the actions of their predecessors to help them guide their actions or vision. If you take, for example, when the new elected President Obama was faced with a mounting recession handed to him by the Bush administration, who did he look to learn from, to confront the problem? A president of yonder past, Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was faced with similar circumstances. Mr. Obama's question was, what did President Roosevelt do in that situation as I'm faced with now? Past performance usually is predictive of present or future performances for success. And as the saying goes, those who do not learn from history are bound to repeat history's ugly and sordid past. This is akin to what we say in Creole: if you don't know how you go, at least know how you come out. Here in the United States, we are familiar with the continuing rigorous and extensive examination of the lives of candidates running for public office, especially high-profile candidates such as presidents, governors, and senators, because these are candidates whose actions impact the lives of individuals and society. And when it comes to presidents or heads of states, it is desirable that a center or a library or a museum be dedicated to their activities for scrutiny. The development of the Siaka Stevens Presidential Center would create a plethora of opportunities for Sierra Leoneans, for Sierra Leone's national growth and development, opportunities to academicians, scholars, and historians for studies of various kinds relating to our socio-economic and political development. Here are a few other benefits. It will bring a sense of pride to a nation that is starving for a spark to see the light of day. A nation that is waiting for a spark to grow. Who knows? It may spark a desirable study on why corruption at all levels is unending in Sierra Leone today. Do I get an applause? For a change, it will bring global recognition of a successful kind to Sierra Leone, unlike the recognition of the worst kind that we are used to, like our recognition for being at the bottom of the United Nations poverty scale. It may trigger studies on the issues of development. One that comes to mind is the archaic land tenure laws, which in my opinion is a barrier to our development. It will be the proper environment for sponsoring public policy forums on issues that impact communities and the nation as a whole, an environment for pursuing a common dream of resolving long-standing differences in a peaceful setting, much like the Carter Presidential Center does. In reading through the biography of the late president in preparation for my speech, I noted that many of the events, pronouncements, and actions during his 18 years as head of state raises a lot of questions that has remained unanswered. Possibly because Sierra Leone lacks the environment and the resources conducive to rigorous examination of the issues raised by those questions. The Siaka Stevens Presidential Center would provide such an environment to unravel the lessons to be learned from such pronouncements. To put some of the unanswered questions into perspective, I want to present a brief biography, much like a few people have, of Siaka Stevens' political career, followed by hypothetical questions of socio-political significance that Sierra Leone can benefit from, given the environment that would be created by the Presidential Center. And I'm going to do this in chronological order. Siaka Stevens was born in 1905, as Minamaon said, in Moyamba, to Limba Medi parents who were then residents of that southern provincial town of Sierra Leone. And I'm doing this probably for the benefits of non-Sierra Leoneans. After graduation from the Albert Academy Secondary School in Freetown, he joined the Sierra Leone Police Force and subsequently rose to the rank of first-class sergeant. In 1943, while working for the Sierra Leone Development Company Railway, DELCO, he helped found the United Mine Workers Union. It was while working for DELCO in 1946 that he entered politics for the first time. And this was for an appointment to the Protectorate Assembly to represent workers' interests. His first elective office was to the Sierra Leone Legislative Council in 1951 in the first SLPP government of Siaka Stevens, of Samilton Magai. From 1952 to 1957, he held a cabinet position with a portfolio of mines, lands, and labor. This 5-year period marked the beginning of his turbulent and tumultuous political career. It was a period marked by discontent and rising tensions within the SLPP. This ultimately forced him and his chief ally, Sir Albert Magai, to break away from the SLPP from another party, the PNP, People's National Party. The main reason was that both of them were not pleased with Sir Milton's conservative policies and the heavy reliance on the role of paramount chiefs in government. Both felt that paramount chiefs should stay away from politics and should be concerned only with their chiefdoms and their peoples. This was one defining moment in Siaka Stevens' political career. Another defining moment came in 1960 as a member of the United Front Coalition of party leaders for the March to Independence, as you've heard before. He refused to sign the agreement reached at the final constitutional talks that paved the way to independence in 1961. The grounds for his refusal was again his opposition to the role of paramount chiefs in government, a role that he eliminated when he became president. Another grounds for his refusal was his opposition to the agreement that there would be no elections before independence. As a result, he was promptly expelled from the SLPP. In response to this expulsion, he launched his elections before independence movement, party you may call it, which later became the APC, the All People's Congress. He continued to press on for his demands for elections, which the government continued to ignore. The APC leaders then turned to violence. Many of them were charged with incitement and eventually jailed. Finally, 9 days before independence, the government proclaimed a state of emergency. 43 APC members, including Siaka Stevens and all members of the executive, were temporarily detained until after independence on the grounds that they planned to sabotage the independence. Shortly before independence, however, Sir Albert had merged the PNP with the SLPP. This move was viewed by Siaka Stevens as a betrayal.